All right, I'll translate. The more it changes, the more of the same we get. So in other words, this time it's not different, but we have to be a bit different in the face of changes. Thank you very much.
What's up, crypto family? Welcome back to the XRP Insider channel. I'm absolutely pumped to dive into another XRP discussion with you today. No matter where you're tuning in from around this amazing world of ours, I hope you're having an incredible day. Now, let's jump right into it, because I've got something really interesting to share with you. Check this out. Someone with the handle 589 dropped this message to Donald Trump. Hey Donald Trump, I just wanted to remind you of this in case you forgot. Let's get it done before XRP moons. No tax on crypto. Here's the thing though, guys, and I'm going to be real with you. I don't think we're going to see this happen anytime soon. You know, it would have been absolutely game-changing if the president had actually put a concrete deadline on this promise. Like, imagine if he said, by this specific date, we're eliminating taxes on American-made cryptocurrencies. But he didn't give us that timeline, did he? Look, don't get me wrong. This could definitely happen down the road. I mean, if you really want to call the United States the crypto capital of the world, getting rid of taxes on American-made cryptocurrencies would be an amazing first step. But realistically, I just don't see this happening in 2025. Now, here's something that really caught my attention from Tokenizer, and this is huge. I'd argue 90% of people are introduced to crypto via Bitcoin, ETH, or meme coins. They're introduced with the concept of money against the system. It's always why there's so much skepticism around utility. Now imagine if they were introduced via real-world use cases like HBAR, QNT, XRP, XDC, XLM, etc. I genuinely feel like the industry would be in a much different place today. This is so true, and here's why. Most times when everyday people think crypto, what immediately comes to mind? NFT hype, meme coins, crazy volatility, all that wild stuff. And you know what? That volatility is actually what hooks people initially. Picture this scenario. Someone new jumps into crypto, gets lucky with a meme coin investment. They buy in when it's sitting at a few cents. Then, boom, it rockets up past $10, and they cash out big time. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the harsh reality. Most of the time, it doesn't play out like that fairy tale. Most people actually end up losing money on meme coins because, let's face it, a lot of them turn out to be rug pulls. Now, imagine a completely different scenario. What if people's first introduction to crypto wasn't through get-rich-quick schemes, but through learning about interoperable technology that actually works? Instant, globally liquid payment solutions, infrastructure for trust through decentralization, digitalized global trade technology. These real-world use cases give people an actual why, a genuine reason for DLT to exist. But here's where it gets tricky, and I'll be honest with you about this. When you try explaining these use cases to someone who's never invested in crypto before, someone who's never even heard of XRP, XLM, or XDC, most of the time, it just goes right over their heads. They have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. But tell them this, if you put money in now, over the next couple of months, you're going to make a hell of a lot of money. And suddenly, they get it. They understand that concept perfectly. And this is exactly why most people entering this space, even when they're buying XRP, have no real idea what they're actually holding. They just know one thing. It's gonna go up at some point in the very near future, and they're planning to sell. Here's what worries me though, and this is something I really want you to think about. Most people are gonna sell their XRP way too early during this upcoming run. They're gonna miss out on the real potential because they don't understand what they're holding. What do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get a discussion going. And here's the kicker. They're going to regret selling early because XRP is going to keep climbing higher and higher. And listen, I'd tell you the exact same thing about HBAR, QNT, XDC, XLM, IOTA, ADA. All of these are positioned for serious growth. Now here's something that should wake everyone up. The European Central Bank is predicting that the next financial crisis is imminent. I'm going to play part of this video for you. Just listen to this.
Conclusions. And I found, I have to say, the title of this conference a little bit intriguing. Quite provocative, as you said, Luke, rightly, and I wondered whether I should really open the conference. Because my professional life in public service is just littered with crisis, one after the other, to the point that my husband actually said that I should not take another job after this one, risk of provoking yet another crisis. So being where I am and comfortably facing adversity, we still ask ourselves, with a big question mark at the end, please note, the next financial crisis. And the question mark is in...
So there you have it. They already know the next financial crisis is coming. And guess what? You're holding the solution to that crisis right in your portfolio. And remember, Christine Lagarde herself is positioned with Ripple. She's been sitting at tables with Brad Garlinghouse since way back in 2015 to 2016. But check out what Chris Larson says here.
10 years out on the financial crisis, we still don't have the infrastructure perhaps to prevent the next one. And I think this is where digital assets can really help, because an efficient digital asset can really solve some of the key problems in global liquidity. You know, the world's got trillions and trillions of dollars tied up in liquidity just to get around how clunky the movement of value is around the world. If with a really efficient digital asset, something like XRP, again, that's what we believe will be the most efficient, you can now reduce trillions and trillions of capital from being tied up. So you can make those transfers instantly as a bank or as a payment provider or as an enterprise without having to have money pre-positioned all over the world. If we knew...
Did you catch that? When he talks about liquidity, pay close attention. He mentioned crisis and then immediately pivoted to on-demand liquidity. That's not a coincidence, guys. They know the next crisis is most likely going to be a liquidity crisis that banks are facing. We're going to see bank after bank collapsing. But here's the thing. You could prevent that collapse with a digital asset like XRP. Why? Because it unlocks all that nostro vostro money. They can bring all that trapped capital back into the banking system instantly. Speaking of global financial changes, the EU just dropped sanctions on Russia that include crypto platforms for the first time ever. This is huge. The EU has established its 19th package of sanctions on Russia, and this is the first time these sanctions will actually hit crypto platforms and prohibit cryptocurrency transactions. But here's what's really interesting. These same sanctions are exactly why the BRICS nations are actively looking for a completely new payment system. They want an alternative to the SWIFT system, and guess what? Ripple already has the rails set up inside all those BRICS countries. You know what happens with sanctions, though? It's sanction after sanction after sanction. And then what does Russia do? They fast-track into something else. That's exactly why they started talking about central bank digital currencies all the way back in 2022. Even back then, Russia was openly saying they were looking for an alternative to SWIFT. Now, let me tell you about something that perfectly illustrates how shady Coinbase can be. If you're not Kevin Durant, your Bitcoin would probably never have been recovered. Just listen to this.
My understanding is that you hooked him on Bitcoin very early. Is that true? Are you the responsible party?
Sure, he knew about Bitcoin, but I gave him a little nudge, yeah.
You gave him a... How did you give...
No, he didn't. He called me in like 2014, 15. We got on a call with our business manager at the time, who just like shut it down and was like, you guys, like, stop.
Hold on. Go backwards. So you how did you learn about Bitcoin?
Just scrolling on YouTube, to be honest. Can't lie to you. And then I just seeing so many videos of seminars of people like this talking about cryptocurrency and how's the future of the world. And I was always into like futuristic, you know, the new technology coming, how our world can change. And And I felt like that was something that could be consistent and can last. And I mean, here we are now, 10 years later, we're still talking about it.
I lost him some money because had we bought it at that point in 2014-15, but about a year later, right when he signed with the Warriors, Ben Horowitz hosted a dinner for Kevin for his birthday, and the whole Warriors team came. And at the end of that night, I was like, Kevin, I just heard the word Bitcoin 25 times this evening. And the next day, we started investing in Bitcoin. And fortunately, we've yet to be able to track down his Coinbase account info, so we've never sold anything, and his Bitcoin is just through the roof.
So his Bitcoin was completely stuck on Coinbase. And then, conveniently, right after that clip went public, Brian Armstrong jumps in and says, "We got this fixed. Account recovery complete." Even Phil Kwok from EZA called this out. He said, "This is like some sort of sick joke, except it's true." Celebrity locked out of his Coinbase account for almost a decade and only now managed to get it back. Think about this. Imagine if this were just a normal person. You'd never get that account back. You'd go through the whole Coinbase runaround, get pushed off to their support team, and accomplish absolutely nothing. Don't get me wrong, it's good that Kevin Durant got his Bitcoin back. But for a normal person, I just don't see this playing out the same way. Here's something everyone needs to understand. Everyone laughs at utility until institutions start rotating into it. ISO 20022 makes XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, QNT, ALGO, and IOTA the short list for global adoption. If you don't own at least one ISO play, ask yourself, why are you even in crypto? I'm serious about this. Every single crypto investor should hold at least a little bit of these cryptocurrencies. We already know XRP is built to move anything of value, and XLM is very similar to XRP. It's perfect for person-to-person money remittances and cross-border payments. Now let's talk about XDC. This is the king of digital trade. Once the world's trade goes completely digital, XDC is going to be an incredibly high-valued cryptocurrency. HBAR? Man, this one's so well-rounded with an amazing ecosystem, and it's tied into AI as well. IOTA is all about Industry 4.0 and machine-to-machine payments. When Industry 4.0 really takes off, it's going to push IOTA to price points that people have only dreamed of. Algo is another incredibly well-rounded cryptocurrency with solid fundamentals. And QNT? This is going to be the glue holding everything together. Here's something mind-blowing. There's actually less QNT in circulation than there is Bitcoin. QNT is more scarce than Bitcoin, and it has real utility. This thing is going to be an absolute powerhouse in the future. These are the cryptocurrencies I'd focus on if you're new to crypto. At minimum, hold a little bit of these ISO cryptocurrencies. We already know they're going to be utilized within ISO 2022 messages, and they're going to rise in value because of that integration. Now, here's something I want to address. Some of you have never experienced real bull run euphoria. And honestly, it shows. Markets don't move when everyone's bored and calling for a crash like they are right now. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. We are about to enter one of the greatest periods in crypto history, the parabolic leg of the golden bull run. A lot of people are new to crypto, so I'm telling you right now, the coming months are going to be the most exciting time this entire space has ever seen. Everybody's going to be full-blown euphoric. You're going to be staring at your portfolio non-stop. There are going to be sleepless nights as cryptocurrencies pop off one after another. Mainstream media is going to be talking about the big crypto boom of 2025, and then you're going to have everyone calling the top along the way. But here's what's different this time. If you're holding utility-driven cryptocurrencies, this run is not going to end at the end of this year. We're going to watch these cryptocurrencies continue their run well into 2026. Everything is lining up right now for an absolutely incredible, epic run. And you want to be holding when that happens, right? So here's my advice. Don't sell too soon, and don't let negative people tell you the top is in. Continue holding your cryptocurrencies and stick to your game plan.
And if you don't have a game plan yet, put one together now. Set up specific price points if you plan to take profits, and stick to those price points. Don't be like, well, I was going to sell a little bit at $15, but now I'm going to wait and see where it goes from here. Look, taking a little bit of profit along the way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But don't sell your entire bag when we're just getting started. Everything that we've been waiting for years, is coming together now in real time. And until it all happens, stay patient and stay positive, crypto family.